Hi Sagittarius, this is your April 2013 forecast. This is a fun one. I love it. Most of the planets will start off in your fifth house. The fifth house is fun, pleasure, romance, sports, activities, children. It's one of my personal favorite parts of the planetary chart or house, and so it's always a very fun time. There's also a new moon on the 10th of the month in your fifth house. New moons tend to signify the beginning of something, and so on this date I would definitely suggest get out there, get social, get active. You might find that you start a new sport, or you join a new club, or even you start dating someone new. But the more you're out and about at that time, the more you kind of take advantage of that planetary influence of starting something fun and something new at that time. Around mid-month to the third week of April, the focus will shift from the focus on fun and romance and all that good stuff to a focus on more practical matters. Your to-do lists, making sure you're going to the doctor, getting your annual exams. You might start a new diet, something along those lines. But it'll definitely go from a shift in focus from being very fun and frivolous to more like a practical, somewhat mundane atmosphere. One more thing I wanted to say about that new moon is that since the fifth house has to do with children, this might be a good time to try, if you're in a long-term relationship and if you've been thinking about having children, this would be a good time to try for that, because people tend to be more fertile at that time. And likewise, if you're not considering having children, you might want to be a little bit more careful at that time as well. Let's see, Mercury is the planet of communication, and the beginning of the month it will be in your fourth house. Your fourth house has to do with home, family, property, and so you might find there's a lot of communication with regards to a home. Maybe you're leasing or buying or selling, and there's a lot of communication going on with a realtor. Or maybe you're restructuring, you're doing some construction or redesign on your home. So there's a lot of communication with regards to that. That is going to move mid-month into your fifth house of again, fun and romance, that really great place to be. So you're going to find that shift in communication to be, maybe if you picked up a new date on the new moon, then this will be a time where you'll have a lot of communication going on with that person. Or maybe with that new sports activity or new hobby. So that should be a good and interesting month for you. There is a lunar eclipse on the 25th in your 12th house. Lunar eclipses tend to be emotional. They tend to signify the ending of something. So, and the 12th house is interesting. The 12th house is kind of focused on institutions, so maybe anything that signifies an institution, maybe a school or a hospital or a jail. It's a little confining. The 12th house also has to do with spirituality and secrets, so maybe there's some kind of gossipy thing going on. So hopefully, if it were something with regards to gossip, the lunar eclipse might kind of signify the end or the closing of that door, so you can move on and move forward with that. Pluto is in your second house and will go retrograde on the 13th. Pluto is the planet of structure, and the second house is your house of income. Retrograde means that it kind of you kind of have a chance to look back and revisit some things so that you can help rebuild that structure, or something that you've swept under the rug. Now you're going to have to deal with it. So this is going to be a really interesting time to maybe you had something going on with income, and maybe this is going to give you the chance to revisit maybe a contract with your company and to try to start again and build a stronger contract and have a more profitable income. Or maybe it has to do with an investment or possession. You know, this is going to allow you to kind of revisit something that you'd pushed aside for a while so that you can start that again and build upon it. But I have a much more detailed forecast on my website at astrologykiki.com. So please go ahead and visit that, and I go into much more detail about the dates and things that might be happening in your life. Thank you.